Hello everybody, welcome back to my home here in East Tennessee. I thought I would take you along today. I'm going to be repotting my little Phalaenopsis Younghome Sunkist that I bought from Hauserman back in October. Did not have time to repot it yet. Well, just decided not to. It was absolutely fine in the moss that it was in. And I've been very careful watering it, and it's done just so great. And it's been in bloom ever since October, and now it is May 1st. So this little thing needs to go into a bigger pot, number one, because I'm going to put it back in my sunroom. I've been enjoying it in my home ever since it's been in bloom. And when I put it back in the sunroom in the higher temperatures, it's going to start growing roots like crazy. And it's in its 1.5-inch nursery pot still. I did check out the moss when I bought this very carefully, and the moss was in perfect condition. But this little pot, you have to be kind of careful when you're watering in these pots because it only has one of these big holes on the bottom. But I've been very careful watering it, and it's just done really well. But this little thing needs to have the spikes removed. This is the first time that this one's ever bloomed, and it's literally had 2 spikes full of blooms, and this one just bloomed out yesterday. So it needs to quit blooming, and it needs to start putting on foliage. And this is a miniature mini. They say this is a mini. Hauserman said it's a mini. We're just gonna see how this one goes, because as you all know, I have another Younghome type Phal that it's just enormous, but it's 10 years old. So I'm curious to see if this one grows into true miniature or more like a medium size. I'm thinking in a couple of years I'm going to be showing you this one, and it's going to be more medium size. But this is a cute little plant. I'm going to be placing it in small orchiata bark along with some New Zealand spag moss into a 3-inch pot, because this one is a 1.5-inch pot. And I want to get I'd like to get two years out of this repot. And these small ones, if you don't pot them up, at least one size bigger, there's no sense in even repotting. So I think that I'm going to get probably 2 years out of this 3-inch pot. And then we're going to see how big this little cutie is going to get. So here we go. Let's just get right into it. So I've got my sterilized scissors. I use 2 different pairs. I use a smaller one. These are better for small roots. These are better for tackling a bigger job, like, cutting through this plastic sleeve. I'm going to leave this spike on because it's turning brown and it's just recycling nutrients, and I want that. I don't want the smaller leaves to start turning yellow, but I'm going to remove this spike because I know that what this is going to do is going to try to do a secondary spike on me, and I don't want that. I want this one out of bloom for sure. But see, it's not going to produce anything here. When this one gets really dry and brown, then I'm going to remove it. And this is so easy. I normally don't leave my orchids in these pots. But like I said, I checked out the moss that this was in. It's in really, really good condition, and I just thought, it was October. I wasn't going to be getting any new roots growing in October. It's blooming, and I thought I'll just be careful about watering it, and I was. I wait until all of the roots turn silver. This has a lot of Phalaenopsis in it, and so the Phalaenopsis is a little bit different when you water them. They like to dry out. They like for their roots to turn silver before they're re-watered. And so when you buy these little tiny phals, they have a lot of Phalaenopsis in their parentage, so keep that in mind. When you water these too much, you will rot the roots. Phalaenopsis likes a day or two dry between watering. So just a good thing to keep in mind. Okay, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to be careful. I wonder if I can just pull this out. Let's just, yeah, I was going to cut the thing. Yeah, just pull it out, Amy. Okay, and the moss is kind of damp, so that means it's going to be really easy for me to remove all this. I know there's no plug in here. I know there's not. Hausermans, they do a really good job with their orchids. It's not like, sometimes a grocery store Phal, they have that awful plug, and Hauserman doesn't. I've never had one anyway that had a plug from Hauserman. See what I mean? There's no plug in here. And wow, look at these roots. Oh my goodness. So you see how when you water these little ones carefully, the root system stays really nice. When I first started growing miniature Phalaenopsis, and I think a lot of times people, when they first start growing the minis, they look at them and they're like, oh, they're so small and they're so cute and they need a lot of water. No. They like to stay on the dry side, really. I watch the roots on my Equestris cross, and my miniatures very carefully. I don't overwater them. You would think that these little guys would just be really thirsty. I mean, when you need to water them, you need to water them, but just make sure that the roots turn silver between waterings with your minis and your Phalaenopsis. Wow. This was done so well. Yeah, nice. See, the moss did not suffocate any roots, even in this. But you just got to be, like I said, you just got to be careful watering them like that. If you're a beginner, you probably want something a little bit looser. But as you gain experience, sometimes you can leave them in these little things. Well, it's been in that little cup for 7 months. So save me some time, and look at this. I mean, the root system. Wow. That right there needs to be removed. But what a beautiful little root system this is. This one will get going, and oh my, it's going to be just spectacular. I kind of just bought this because I was ordering some Tolunias from Hauserman, and I think the shipping was going to be the same if I ordered this one, and I could not say no. I was very surprised because normally my daughter's like, you got so many Phals, you got Phals, Mom. She took one look at this and she's like, you got to have that. That one is pretty. The color of it is just it's when look at that pretty little bloom. Pretty little lip. It's just cute. And I thought, yeah, I need another little mini Phal. I love mini Phals. So let's just get all the dead off of it. Hadn't done this in a while, y'all, and it feels really nice. It feels good to be repotting again. It feels good to be back here with you all again. Oh, what a blessing. I'm just happy. This is my element. I normally don't repot in the winter. There's no, unless it's some kind of an emergency repot, something falls out of a pot or, something like that. I don't. And spring comes and I'm like, yippee, I get to get my bark and my moss out, and that's squishy too, right there. And that is a beautiful, beautiful root system. Okay, I'm going to go wash this off with some water, and I will be right back. And I don't know if I mentioned to you all, but I've got new equipment. So I am adjusting a little bit. I got a new tripod from Santa for Christmas, so if y'all have been out of the frame a little bit, I'm sorry. I think that I had it maybe too close in, but hopefully what I was saying, even if the visual wasn't perfect, you know, I'm hoping sometimes you just got to kind of go with the flow some days, and this is one of those days for me. So yeah, I think that is just going to be perfect. So here we go. I'm going to start with the bark on the bottom. I don't trust myself with moss on the bottom with my phals. I just don't. I know that sounds kind of funny because I've been doing this a long time, but I do better with bark on the bottom, and then a little bit of moss. Several of you have told me, you know, you have issues with how much moss to use. I hear what you're saying. I live in an area where we go from cold to, like, this winter, y'all, it was so cold. It was the coldest winter we've ever had on record. And it was so different watering this winter, different than really any other year. It was kind of, had to really keep an eye on things because my heating system kept cutting on, which means, you know, I have to water more. So it was interesting watering this time. And then I go from that to a very temperate spring, very temperate fall usually. Sometimes our falls can be hot here. And then our summers are a short trip to the sun. So I get the gamut of practically all temperatures, all humidities. Like, you know, it's very humid here in the summer. The humidity is already kind of setting in here. It's, well, not already kind of, it's already set in here, and it's May. And so it's hard to gauge how much moss you need sometimes. I do more of a, not even a 50-50. I kind of do a 30-70. That's enough. That's pretty much enough moss for me. But you have to kind of do a trial on your orchids. That's the main thing. Just try different things. If you decide to do this mixture of moss and bark, if you're a beginner, bark is more user friendly. You won't rot roots in bark nearly as easy as you will in moss. You have to kind of learn how to use moss to your advantage. But when you learn, it makes your life a whole lot easier. So as you see, I'm just kind of, this is a small pot. I'm going to try to put a little bit more moss on the top because I'm going to be having a lot of root growth on the top. I know it. And I'm going to see how this works. But try to keep your ratio, I'm trying to keep my ratio at about 1/3 moss, maybe. Yeah. And the rest, I use small orchiata bark. That's another thing. With these small orchids, the small orchiata bark works really well for me. I use more small orchiata bark now than, I think, the medium. And you know me, I love the medium. Okay, I'm about to run out of some moss here, so let me go get me some more. And here it is in its new home. I just ran some water through the media, and I will be keeping an eye on these roots. Do you see how these roots right here are nice and pretty and green and hydrated? And when those roots turn silver, I will be watering it again. When you water these, water them thoroughly, and then you're going to let them dry out until their roots are silver, and that's going to keep the roots from rotting on you. So that's the main idea about these little ones, to let those roots dry out until they're silver, until you rewater. That's going to save you a lot of miniature Phalaenopsis roots. And here's my beautiful Phalaenopsis Younghome Little Snow that I've had for 10 years. Just to show you the size that these can get. I don't know if this little guy is going to get that big. I don't know if this one's more of a true miniature mini. But when I brought Little Snow home, here, he was this big. No bigger than this. So I wonder what Younghome Sunkist is going to look like in 10 years. We'll have to wait and see. But look at these just gorgeous, gorgeous blooms on Younghome Little Snow. I love this Phal. So these miniatures can get quite medium sized. Actually, these leaves are they're practically as big as my complex hybrid Phals. But isn't it gorgeous? And it produces these huge sprays of flowers. So beautiful. So thank you all so much for watching today. Want to say the blessing over you all. You all are such a blessing to me. Thank you all so much for your kind comments and for your friendship and for being my orchid family. So let's say the blessing before we end this video. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. You all make it a great day. We'll talk to you next time.